Hello everybody, my name is Rahul Miglani and I handle the DevOps practice here at Noldes. Noldes is a team of passionate technologists with a product mindset who work along with businesses to deliver solutions at the speed of competitive advantage. Our main capabilities include related products like IoT, microservices, API, Scala, data engineering, and obviously DevOps. We also have strategic partnership with Databricks, Lightplan, Confluent, and many more to deliver more value to the clients. Right now, I welcome to this course and I hope you will enjoy this. Thank you very much.
What is our agenda for the day? We'll look into what is Nodus Studio 9, what are the use cases where you can use Studio 9, and what all Studio 9 can do for you. And we'll go through the flow for Studio 9, how it works, and how you can deploy Studio 9 locally. So coming to the main question, what is Studio 9? Nolda Studio 9 is an open source platform for doing collaborative data management and obviously AI ML anywhere. So whether your data is trapped in silos or you are generating data at the edge, Studio 9 gives you the flexibility to create AI and data engineering pipelines wherever your data is. Now, you can also share your AI data and pipelines with anyone, anywhere. With Studio 9, you can achieve newfound agility to effortlessly move between compute environments while all your data and your work replicates automatically to wherever you want. Uh, we have some major components of Studio 9. We have Orion, which is a service which further consists of three components. For example, job dispatcher, job supervisor, and a job resource cleaner. Job dispatcher mainly forwards messages from RabbitMQ to a proper job supervisor, instantiating it for new job request. Job supervisor is responsible for instantiating job master for new job, which will have a new job supervisor setup. Whereas job resource cleaner consumes messages from RabbitMQ and spins up a new job resource cleaner worker. Right. We also use Aries, which is a microservice which we use here in Studio 9 so that allows read and write access to Elasticsearch. We use Taurus. This service works as a message dispatcher using SQS and SNS. We use Bailey. It receives messages from the UI service called Salsa and then sends them to Cortex. We use Argo, which is a service designed to capture all the configuration parameters for all job types, or let us say services. Right. We also use Pegasus, which is a prediction storage service that receives messages from Taurus via Orion to upload data to Redshift. Moving on to the use case of Studio 9. Well, we can use Studio 9 for computational data core that automatically scales and adapts to you. Imagine never having to worry about how to keep your data organized, keep track of how, when, and where it was manipulated. You might also think of keeping track from where it came from or keep track of all its metadata. Right. Now imagine being able to effortlessly and securely share your data and its lineage with your colleagues. Finally, imagine being able to do any analytics or machine learning right away where your data is. The Studio 9 computational data core makes this all possible. Now, data science replication engine. Now, every step you perform in analytics and AI lifecycle results in a valuable asset, which is a snippet of a code, or a data transformation pipeline, or a table of newly engineered data, or maybe an album of images or a new algorithm. Imagine having the power to instantly use any asset anyone creates to build bigger and better AI models that can uh, constantly expand your power to generate breakthroughs. Studio 9 gives your team the frictionless ability to organize, track, share, and reuse all your analytics and AI assets. Third would be automated model governance and compliance. Studio 9 allows model risk management, regulatory consent, and documentation policies at your models, which must abide by to be encoded right into the pipeline and automatically reproduce every time a model is refreshed by Studio 9. This includes model explainability, model fairness and bias analytics, model uncertainty, and model drift analytics, all of which are performed automatically. We don't think AI makes machines smarter, it exists to make you smarter. The easier it is for you to make AI, the greater your ability to make breakthroughs. Whether you have unlimited compute resources in the cloud or you are limited at the edge, your ability to make breakthroughs should be unencumbered. We are committed to giving you the breakthrough, data management, and AI ML capabilities you need so you can create the breakthroughs you want. Again, anywhere, anytime, and with anyone. Now, moving on to what all are the target audience for Studio 9? Well, Studio 9 has been designed, architected, and built keeping in mind following user personas: AI customers, they can use and execute custom AI models with insane ease via drag and drop. Second would be AI producers. You can train and manufacture custom AI models using off the shelf pipelines. Third would be pipeline authors who can create off the shelf pipelines using off the shelf operators. And last would be operator authors. You can create off the shelf operators from off the shelf libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and Studio 9's own set of powerful APIs and cutting edge algorithms. Now, moving on to what Studio 9 can actually do. Well, it can obviously reduce your AI workload 100 times more. Studio 9 provides a large inventory of building blocks from which you can stitch together custom AI and data engineering pipelines, rapidly assemble and test many different pipelines to create the AI you need. Turn your data into AI with near zero effort and cost. Since Studio 9 is an open source platform, newer cutting edge AI building blocks that are emerging every day are put right at your fingertips. Second would be Studio 9 helps you find the breakthrough hidden in your data. Studio 9 streamlines your burden of wrangling data. With its continuously expanding portfolio of building blocks, Studio 9 makes it easier for you to clean, integrate, enrich, and harmonize your data. You can do it all within your infinitely scalable database environment without any of the hassle of managing your own database. Third would be a push button model deployment. You now have the power to deploy and run your data processing pipelines, models, and AI anywhere, from infinitely scalable cloud computing infrastructure to your own laptop to ultra low power edge computing devices with no additional programming or engineering effort needed. We designed Studio 9 for deployment flexibility so that you can build, train, share, and execute your AI anywhere you want. Now, moving on to the flow of Studio 9. As we said, there are few major components of Studio 9. One is Orion, which is a service which further consists of three components, which are job dispatcher, job supervisor, and job resource cleaner. And then we have Aries, which is a microservice that allows read-write access to your Elasticsearch. It stores job metadata, heartbeats, and job results in Elasticsearch as documents. Then we have Taurus. With this service works as a message dispatcher using SQS, SNS. Payly. It receives messages from the UI service called Salsa and then sends them to Cortex if it is not online prediction. In case of online prediction, Salsa sends message to Taurus, which then sends them to Cortex. Right. Then we have Argo. It is a service designed to capture all configuration parameters for all your job types of services. These parameters are saved by Argo in Elasticsearch. Then we have Pegasus, which is a prediction storage device that receives messages from Taurus via Orion to upload data to Redshift. The messages contain metadata for online prediction job and CSV file with prediction results. So this is a simple Studio 9 flow. Well, how do you run Studio 9 locally? As we have made Studio 9 open source, we'll have to jump onto Nolda's GitHub where we have given all the details. But if I have to tell you in simple language, then for running Studio 9 on local, we are using Docker Compose. We are using a single network that is Studio 9 for all the services that will run for Studio 9. Here we have multiple services that will be deployed on local machine to run on Studio 9. There are 4 volumes which are being used in Studio 9, 3 for Elasticsearch and 1 for MongoDB. The Elasticsearch master node is accessible at generally port 9200. Kibana service will run after the Elasticsearch nodes are up and will be accessible at port 5601. Mongo Express service depends on Mongo and will be accessible at 8081. Zookeeper is using the same network, that is Studio 9, and will be accessible at 2181. Again, RabbitMQ is accessible at ports 5672 and 15672. Next, we have the Aries service, and it depends on Elasticsearch nodes and will be accessible at 9000. Again, for the details, you'll probably have to jump onto our GitHub. The Cortex service depends on Aries RabbitMQ and will be accessible at 9000. The Argo service also depends on Elasticsearch nodes and will be accessible at 9000. Gemini service depends on Zookeeper and SQL Server. Taurus service depends on RabbitMQ, Cortex, Bele, Argo, and Aries. Orion service depends on Cortex, Zookeeper, and RabbitMQ. SQL Server depends on UN service. Salsa service is responsible for the UI, and Postgres service depends on PostgreSDB. Now, if you complete all the prerequisites, having a system, probably a Ubuntu, then your Mesos, and then your AWS services, you're good to start and having Studio 9 locally. Now, let's have a quick demo of a Studio 9 platform. It enables you to train and test ML models very easily with a single click of button, along with various options or features like pipeline or custom pipelines, uh, creating using Jupyter Lab. Now let's get started with the demo. We need to log in with our credential. You can create your own credential and as well. So this is the main product we have here. We have various section. You can see the option library here as well. You in this section you can find all the data or all the albums, tables or whatever you have uploaded. Right now we have various options on the left hand side like album, tables, binary datasets, etc. with your models and predictions. Right. We'll go through each of the options. First, let's start with an album. So we have 2 options here. First, we can create the album and then we can upload. And second, we can create album at the same uh, time or we can upload the images or videos. So I'll show you both the options going ahead. So simply we can create album there like you can see on the screen. Just create 2, 3 test 1, 2, 3, 4 album and then upload any images or videos from here, right? So for second option you can upload image uh, or videos like this and then give it a name, give it a label mode, and there you have 2 options to upload images or videos. So if you have a few images or videos you can upload probably a huge number of images for your AI. Now we can simply upload the images. We have use the data. So this becomes our data to perform and upload the images. So we can use S3 right? So we are using S3. Now this is the option that you need to set the SC album bucket name. Access key, and then it takes you to specify the name here. And then one more thing, you can upload the labels from here as well. So if you have them in a CSV, you can do it like this. So if you have label 5 in your local, then you can choose the file, upload the file, or you have the label file in your S3 bucket, you can use the second one option, right? So these are the two options for album. We have two albums, testing and training in this case. So if you can see, this is the training set, right? So I'll create the experiments with these albums. Now let's see how we do this. Go to the lab, and here you can see I'm trying to type my experiment name, right? We can create an experiment and then we can start using it. You can give probably a demo name and then give a description of your choice, and then you say my experiment type is CVTL train. Second is tabular train. CV is computation, and then basically we need to select this option on the basis of, let's say, if you have data, like if you are using image, and if you need to select the CV model or CV using table, then we can use tabular train, right? So in my case I'm using images, so I will select the CTL. Now we need to select the training mode, right? One step training or a two step training. Then UTLP, we have 5 algorithm to use autoencoder or module tab, right? Then model type, classifier, detector, and autoencoder, right? And then train data, right? So I have an album with the name training set or training. So I need to select the training set here, right? So let's select what I did upload in the previous step, and then classifier type as FCN1 layer, and then this is where my test album gets uploaded. Now go to the advanced option. There is an interesting track wherein I can enable automated data augmentation, right? So before training, it will create a pipeline data set using the data augmentation. This will increase our data set for better results, basically, right? So you fill the required options, you fill the mandatory required options, and then we are good to go to create agreement, right? So we can simply click on the create button, right? It says CV model train is queued, which means it is in process of creating. So it will take a few minutes. It says 13 seconds, depending on the number of images or videos I put in, right? So it gives me the result, model, a summary, statistics. You can follow the same steps for PG and CSK, right? So this is how it actually works, right? So I hope you enjoyed looking at the small demo, right? If you are looking for more detailed demo, I'll recommend you to go to our YouTube channel and have a look at all the detailed demos. This was a pretty quick demo just for you all to know that how it works, right?
Moving on to YouTube, if you want to see the videos of how Studio 9 works and how you can implement it locally, you can go to this link on YouTube, that is Nolder's official YouTube channel, and you can hover back to videos and look out for Studio 9 playlist, and you can have all the videos of a working demo and how to set up Studio 9 locally. So if you have any questions regarding any part in the demo as well, you can write down a comment on our YouTube channel as well. Well, if you go over Studio 9 Git from Noldes, you will find out that we have all the information needed to get Studio 9 working for you and help you in your AI ML data management. And you will also get to know we have documented how to deploy Studio 9 locally and what all are the prerequisite you will require, and the versions of binaries of the, for example, if you need Marathon or Vagrant, we've also mentioned what version will work for you. So jump on to our GitHub and probably try Studio 9 locally. And if you have any question, you can get back to us. Probably give us a star on GitHub. And if you have any question, you can reach out to us from any of the communication channels.
Well, this brings us to the end of today's session. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, do reach out to us from any of the social media channels, or you can also comment on from wherever you are watching this video. Again, Studio 9 is a very ambitious Noldes product. We have made it open source for doing collaborative data management and AI ML anywhere. So even if your data is trapped or you are generating your data edge, do try out Studio 9 and let us know how you feel about it. Again, this is Rahul Miglani signing off, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks.